lovely people. Welcome to our tarot reading for the week of the 23rd of September. I hope you are all well. I hope you've all had a good week. And I hope you're looking forward to hearing what the cards have to tell us this week. Let's see what they have to say. Okay, so we have the Moon. We have the Nine of Swords. And we have the Four of Cups. Right, okay, so this is quite a thought-provoking reading for this week. We have the Moon, which is very much about your instincts and your unconscious emotions. The Moon is a major arcana card. And we have the Nine of Swords, which is we have the Nine of Swords, which is a minor arcana card, and the Four of Cups, which is a minor arcana card. And all are, we have the Moon, which is your instincts, what's unconscious inside of you. The Nine of Swords is very much about, your mental health. It's very much about mental shadows that are kind of like attacking you from within. And then we have the Four of Cups, which is really looking at a situation whereby, things are just not the way you want them to be. But actually, maybe you don't really know what you want them to be. So let's start with the Moon. So as I said, the Moon symbolizes your instincts. It symbolizes your unconscious emotions. And, these deep undercurrents, they can alter your perception of the world around you. So if you're habitually harboring, say, negative emotions, that's what you will see in the world. And you will constantly see evidence of all of that will make those things true for you. And it's likewise that if you're, say, brimming over with positive energy, then you will see evidence of that. You will see all the joy in the world. So it's really what it's kind of like what is within we will see without on the outside. And what the Moon card is doing is reminding you to check in with your unconscious moods and your feelings. And because these emotions, they are colouring your perceptions of, what's good and what's bad and how you're seeing things all around you. And now, if you look here at the Moon card, we have the wolf and we have the dog. And the wolf is a very primitive, it symbolises that very primitive, instinctual sort of side of your nature, whereas the dog represents your civilized self. And they're both howling at the Moon. So what this represents is that no matter how rational and intelligent that you think you are, you will still be pulled by mysterious and irrational forces. So because the Moon tugs at your deepest instincts and your deepest emotions, those things that you keep really, really, really locked down. So that sort of civilized dog of yourself, if you like, is keeping them down there. And the lobster in here is coming out of the water, and the lobster has a hard shell, and this represents the armor. And the armor that one might cover themselves with so that they don't get hurt. And but no armor can kind of contend with the Moon's power. And then you have a look at the pathway that's coming up along here between the two. And what this shows is that when you take the time to look inward, basically all will be revealed. So the Moon is tugging at your instincts, and this card is telling you that it's time to listen to your deepest feelings and to let them guide you. To tune into your intuitive hunches and trust yourself. Trust yourself when something doesn't feel right, And because with time and practice, your intuition will get sharper and it will be able to guide you through any sort of challenge. So this is what we're looking at with the moon. And then if we move on to the Nine of Swords, we're looking at, sort of like inner mental shadows that are attacking you, but they're attacking you from within. And these shadows come in, under the guise of fear and shame and guilt and anxiety. And it's where you might be feeling utterly alone. So all of these tools are our inner saboteur at work. And if you have the brighter the light you shine, the darker your shadow can get. So sensitive, kind and creative people who, bring light into the world, well, you're the people that must be especially strong when facing your shadows. So in a way, the inner shadows here they're like nightmares. They're really, really scary, but they don't really exist. And that's what you have to remember. And you need to remember too that you're stronger than your inner shadow. You're stronger than your inner saboteur. But you must stand up to it, especially when it's trying to take over your mind. So this inner saboteur, it can help you, it can kind of hold you hostage, and it can make you forget your lies, and it can make you forget how valuable you are. Now, if you look at this card here, you can see how the swords have their edges cut off. And what this is doing is it's really neutralizing that. It's a symbol of that threat being neutralized. And, the thing is, there is hope here, but the person, he can't see it because he's covering his eyes. And the blankets are shields. Blankets are things that comfort us and they remind us that we're safe. Blankets are the sort of things that are handed out to you if you've been in a trauma. It's and on these blankets, you've got roses, and roses symbolize vitality. So this card is very much about it, that the message here is to tell you to hold on to the knowledge that you're not alone and that you are a vital part of the greater design. And the more that you affirm your inner saboteur, and with, say, self-loathing and guilt and shame and fear, the more it will thrive. So you must turn off that tap and transfer your attention to loving yourself and to respecting how far you've come. So affirm your value to yourself. And when you do that, then the shadow will lose its power. So when it says that you say, when you find yourself saying you can't do something, that's your inner saboteur at work. And what you need to do is to do it anyway. Or if you're feeling really crap, then maybe a way to overcome that and to reaffirm your value and your worth would be to do something nice for somebody else. So, we are able to overcome these things. And this brings me now to the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups here is we're looking at somebody, very bored, disenchanted, disillusioned person here in this card. And so this card is a reminder to see all the good things being offered to you in the present. So maybe, if we think too far ahead, we're not able to see what's happening around us, or very much if we're dwelling on things that happened in the past, then we will miss what's happening in the now. And so the present is here. The present is what's happening right now. And this current is also loaded, this current time is also loaded with, say, abundance and blessings and positive energy. And we're kind of coming back here, aren't we? That you need to get into that mindset to be able to see it. And because if you're if you're seeing negativity as portrayed in the moon, then that's all you're going to see here. You're not going to see the abundance that's surrounding you. And you need to be open to these things. And I can tell you, this guy looks anything but open here. So he's very closed down here. He's very resistant to receiving up the opportunities that are being presented to him. And what the Four of Cups does is asks you to start seeing these gifts being offered to you. You know, are you worrying about the future? Are you in the future worrying about it? Are you shut down and numb because of what happened in the past? Or is there just something distracting you from seeing all the blessings in your life? So this man in the card here, he's fixated on 3 earthbound cups down here. And these represent his worldly sort of like acquisitions. So they represent money, represents reputation, and also his image. So he's not acknowledging the miracle that's coming in here, to the side of him. And he's not even seeing it. He's not seeing this angelic hand that's reaching out of a cloud and offering him a divine gift. Now, the only other cards that have this angelic hand in the tarot are aces, or the ace cards. And aces are very much about new beginnings. So, we could say here that there's a new beginning being offered, and the man just can't receive it. So, not only is he not open to it, because look at the way his arms and his legs and everything is crossed. He's very, very close position here, but he's unable to see it. And what happens really in Western culture is that Western culture sort of tells us to be constantly worried and to be constantly planning, avoiding pitfalls and always pushing to be better, to be endlessly striving. And this can just be fear in disguise. It can be fear of being hurt. It can be fear of being, say, caught unaware. It can be fear of rejection or loss. And fear really does rob us of the joy of the present. So the more you engage in fear, the more you will be blind to the good things in life. And what this card is doing is it's urging you to accept and to receive and to open yourself to the good things that are being offered in the moment. So this card is really urging you to say yes. Say yes to life. Now, if you look at, put some of these cards together then, and, you say like the moon and the 9 of swords. So you've got the moon signifying that it's, it might be, you might be experiencing confusion or doubt or fear due to the unknown. And the moon, as I said, it represents, it can also represent creativity, but it most certainly represents intuition. But it can also signify illusion and deception. Now, the 9 of swords signifies a period of intense worry and stress. And as you can see here, possibly sleepless nights. So this card indicates, that feeling of being really overwhelmed and unable to see a way out of a situation. So it's really important to recognize, with the 9 of swords, that our thoughts are not necessarily the reality. Now, together, these signify that your intuition and your creativity are perhaps being blocked by negative thoughts and emotions. So it's really important, that these feelings, to acknowledge that these feelings may not be based on reality. And it can be helpful to focus on your inner wisdom and intuition to guide you through this difficult time. Because for sure, the darkness will pass. Now, if you look then here, we've got, say, the 4 of Cups, say the moon and the 4 of Cups. So, we would have we're looking at reflection. We're looking both of them at contemplation and reflection. And it's about looking within and being in the moment, and that there may be hidden and repressed emotions that you need to address. And the moon will help you to connect with your intuition. So, and the 4 is about assessing what you truly want. So it's about addressing doubts and fears that may be holding you back, because for sure clarity will help you to move forward with purpose. And then we have the 9 of Swords in the middle of all of this. And so if you with the 4 of Cups, for instance, and you're kind of looking at, if we were looking at this card here as boredom and apathy and say a lack of fulfillment, then this card is advising you to take a break and to reassess your priorities. So the 9 of Swords is advising you to confront your fears and anxieties. And together they do illustrate that sense of stagnation in your life, where you're struggling to move forward to find, true meaning. So really you need to take a step back from your current situation and evaluate your priorities and confront your fears and your anxieties. So you may be very much stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, that's preventing you from being present. And even if you're in the face of adversity, you need to take action towards a more kind of fulfilling future where you can achieve your goals. So when we do look at all of these 3 cards together, it's there is hope in here for sure, and but there's also challenge. But we've got 3 quite challenging cards here in front of us. But the great thing about a challenge is that challenges are just challenges. They're something to be got through, and also challenges can be like guidelines. They can be sort of like signposts along the way, where you can really see where you have come from and how much you have achieved, and that's both internally and externally. So interesting, isn't it? So I think we leave it our reading at this, and if it resonates with you, do please leave me a comment below. You can also subscribe to this channel to be notified for the next reading. And if you would like to know more, you can book a private reading with me. You'll find my email address in the description of the video. So lovely people, I am going to love you and leave you, and I will talk to you again next week.